Fellow Unionists, the theme of this conference today is dedicated to deliver. And on the most pressing issue that faces our people today, that of jobs and the economy and of putting bread on the table, there is no better example. Whenever Varney said no to corporation tax being varied, whenever the Labour government gave Varney the brief was, listen, all these people in Northern Ireland would like you to vary corporation tax and give them some extra tools. But I tell you what, could you come up with all the reasons why we can't do it? There will be displacement from other parts of the United Kingdom into Northern Ireland. It's a price we can't afford to pay. You can't do it legally, etc., etc., etc. Fellow Unionists, every other party in Northern Ireland took that as the end of the story. But this party did not. This party built allegiances with the future government of the United Kingdom, who got elected, and we decided 2 or 3 years ago that this wasn't the end of the story. We spoke to what is now the Secretary of State and his shadow cabinet colleagues at the time, including the Prime Minister, and this party put the devolution or the potential devolution of corporation tax back on the agenda. So do not let any other party or any other politician who are now making keynote speeches try to claim the credit for what this party did. They didn't want to know at the time, and this party is the party that brought those opportunities forward for the people of Northern Ireland. And why are we dedicated to deliver? Yes, it's great to read in the broadsheets and in the editorial comments. What we need to do is to bring this message, as David McNary has said, to the doorsteps. This is about giving hope to the 50,000 people in our community who have lost their jobs. Those 50,000 people, mummies and daddies, who won't be able to go and buy the toys for their kids this Christmas, who are worried about whether they can put a turkey on the table. Other politicians are saying, can we afford the reduction or the potential reduction in the block grant to take this policy forward? I think this party, through the paper that we put out last week, has given our answer. We can't afford not to. Doing nothing is not an option. Without hope, without employment, and this is before any of the public sector cuts take place, there's no use talking about rebalancing our economy and we need to have a bigger private sector if we're not prepared to take some of the risks. And I think the risks that we have outlined in our paper are calculated risks with regards to public utilities, which in Northern Ireland still lack a real competitive edge, and, of course, the banks. In terms of the rest of our dedication to delivery, I want to also deal with one other core subject, that of the Presbyterian Mutual Society. And in this particular address, it actually highlights our strengths, but also some of our weaknesses. In several recent addresses, again, once others, having taken Gordon Brown at his word that not a saver in the UK had been affected, and we all know that was a load of typical Labour spin and lies. People said it wouldn't and couldn't be fixed. But again, our party and our ex-party leader, Sir Reg Empey, took that message right to the heart of who is now the Prime Minister. And whenever the current Secretary of State says that the hero of the Presbyterian Mutual Society is Sir Reg Empey, I think the people of Northern Ireland and the people of this party owe him a tremendous debt of gratitude. But of course, the negative of this is the unsung hero. We need to tell people what we're doing, when we're doing, so that other people cannot claim the credit for it. And whenever this is finally resolved, whenever the executive finally agree a package and we see other ministers, including people who used to be members of this party, claiming credit for the resolution of the Presbyterian Mutual Society, let us be on telling them we did it. But of course, there's one other major fiscal thing that's happened in the last few weeks. That of the situation in our closest neighbour, our most important trading partner. And I don't just say that from a Northern Ireland perspective, it is also one of the United Kingdom's closest trading partner. And the issue is that some people are still getting away with rank political hypocrisy on this subject. There is a political party in Northern Ireland who some people think speak, and I use the term with a small u. We say they're agnostic on the Union, and on this core economic trademark, I think that we need to make sure that we ram this message home. East Belfast, that Unionist of constituencies, is currently represented by a politician who still believes that Northern Ireland's place and the rest of the United Kingdom's place should be within the Eurozone. We need to go to the doors every time we hear their name mentioned and remind the public of those type of policies. If the journalists aren't going to hold these people to account, it is up to this party to hold those people to account. What an absolute nonsense. So, we're dedicated to delivering on corporation tax. We're dedicated to delivering on the Presbyterian Mutual Society. We're dedicated to delivering for Northern Ireland. I support the motion and welcome the debate. Thank you.